Now we're live. Welcome back, guys, to the Allergic podcast with your host Alberto and Ty. What is up, Ty?
What's going on? How was your
I
day?
thought I thought I hit you with something different this time. Actually, what is your current meal one? Let's hear it.
You know what? I actually switched it up this week.
Oh, sick. What is it?
So it has been 130 grams cream of rice, a scoop and a half of whey, two eggs, and 200 grams of berries and an English muffin.
What is that? About 110? It's just about 140 carbs minus the berries. 140 direct, and then whatever's in the berries, somewhere around there.
Yeah, like 125-ish. Yeah. So like
Huh.
140 total. It's like 140 total. Yeah.
Funny enough, I thought I was talking to Brie about a little subject. I guess we can go over real quick too. Is cream of rice rankings because we're both cream of rice connoisseurs when it comes to
Mm,
brands. I want to hear what you have to say of like the major brands and what you think is like the best one, second, third. You've tried a few, right?
I've tried them all.
Okay, what do you think? Okay, we'll go each of one of our ones first. What's your top?
What are we doing? Flavor only or overall?
We're
Because I
talking
take,
everything that goes into it because I have a list too. So the flavoring, how it mixes, how it cooks, the toughness of it, all those kind of things take into consideration.
all right. I love the taste and texture of Flavor Gang. So Flavor Gang, probably peanut butter cookie is probably the number one, but it gets a little pricey. So Elevate peanut butter cup is probably the best overall like value because it comes out to like $17 a bag.
Hmm.
So Elevate peanut butter cup is the one I keep going back to. And I'll have like 5 bags stocked up. But if that didn't matter, probably Flavor Gang peanut butter cookie or Flavor Gang brownie batter.
I think brownie batter's gas. See, and
Gas.
exactly what you said, Flavor Gang, their flavoring is on point, but you'll know exactly what I mean. Elevate fluffs up more, where
Yeah.
Flavor Gang cooks more into like a hardened crust, and it's a little
Yeah.
bit less. So I like Elevate more because you can. I didn't need tons of volume, but I like how it fluffs up into this kind of fluff. The blueberry muffin, dude, I don't even know the cookie butter is delicious. Flavor Gang is like the gooeyest pieces. Mm. Brownie batter, yes.
I did the
But
blueberry muffin Elevate for like 6 months straight.
you burn out of
So
it.
I did a little bit. So I switched to peanut butter cup, but yeah, I can't. I mean, you can't go wrong. I've been doing half crackberry, half birthday cake in pancakes. It's
I
delicious.
first saw NDP do it and NDP
Yeah.
do it. And I was like, I gotta try it.
Yeah, I was very skeptical when I saw that, but I was like, I gotta try it. It's delicious.
Because there's also wait, what is the Carbivore brand? Dang, I've had them before. Rice and Grinds.
Rice and
They have
grinds.
they have the most. Their brown sugar cinnamon. The flavor was good, but it kind of had the texture of cream of wheat in a little bit. So it was a
It's
little
more
rough.
yeah, it's not as fine.
No, so I didn't like it as much. I wouldn't want to say it was terrible, but it's yeah, the texture was a lot more cream of wheatish, so it wasn't the same.
I like that one when you need a break from like if you're like too sweetened out,
Oh, bro,
you can
100%.
go there and it's good because it's like it's more of a meal. It's not like a dessert.
It makes that taco one that I've always wanted to try, and I'm like, no, I would hate that with the ground beef could have potential to be great, but nah, dude, I'm having rice, so I'm having potatoes or something.
That's a funny story. I did that one time. Not the taco flavor one, but I did like plain cream of rice and then I put taco seasoning in it and put ground beef on it.
How did it
Because
taste? It
I
was good.
it was weird. It was a little weird. But
How
I've
did
done I've done the chocolate brownie flavor cream of rice with like chicken or beef and it's perfectly fine.
you stirred it in there?
Yeah, it makes it in. Yeah. It-
So you know what? I'm not even opposed to that because if I had a meal of that, as long as I would have to cook the chicken plain or brie.
yeah, the chicken
Brie.
plain.
You have to make that chicken plain because if it had like Cajun with it and it was mixed with chocolate, I'd be like, good. So that
Yeah.
would work. That would work.
I've, I've done that too. I've cooked my chicken plain or just cook it in the sauce. Just cook it in sweet poppy sauce. Don't even season it.
That's pretty good.
That's your number one sauce, huh? Sweet poppy?
Sweet poppy. That with dude, that with reduced sugar ketchup all day. Just because I mean that combination goes on everything. I even put that on fish. I'll put it on beef, on rice, everything. Just like I'm not even, you know what? I'm not even crazy about the flavor gang sauces. Sweet poppy. I mean, not to say I'm not, because the ones that taste good also have 3 grams of fat per serving. So that, like in the off season, it doesn't matter as much, but I put shit on there. So like I measured it once and I was like, okay, that was like 45 mLs. That's like 6 grams of fat. I mean,
Right,
yeah, you're
right.
trying to build muscle. That it's not the end of the world, but you're not if you're not accounting for 6 grams of fat, you're like, dude, this is the same shit as almost. It's not a full sugar like soda or anything like that, but it's adding 50 calories. That
Right.
adds up.
There's some sauces that are interesting. They'll be no sugar or no sugar added, but they're still like full of fat.
Oh, bro,
There's a
like the
couple.
GP's line, if you look at it, I
Yeah,
would hate for someone to get the Polynesian sauce because I checked the back of it. I was like, what do you mean it's still 90 calories per 15 mLs?
yeah,
That's hardly, yeah, there's no sugar added, but it's still a bomb of mayo or whatever. I don't even know what Polynesian sauce is.
yeah, yeah. It's they're sneaky with it, you know. You gotta be checking those things.
Funny enough, and that's like the reduced fat peanut butters when you look at them and they're the same amount of calories because
Same.
they replace it with sugar. It's the same exact calories, and it's not even better
Yeah.
for and it's still a
Nah,
peanut butter spread. Like it's not even the like hydrogenated peanut oil or whatever the shit it has in it. It's not even good for you.
it's ridiculous. But there's always PB2. PB2, you a fan?
Dude, I last meal, 32 grams of it, put it in the freezer for a little bit, hardens up, thickens up, gas.
It's peanut butter.
It's peanut butter. 100. Even then, I'm terrible about this because I put an extra packet of Splenda in there to make it a little bit more sweet. But
Well, I would make it with sugar-free syrup, and then
oh
it
hell
gets a
yeah,
little sweeter.
yeah, that's good
So
too.
yeah, that's funny. Those are all things for our topic today of how to set up a good prep. I mean, those are all
I
important
thought that
things.
was good, bro, because I'm sure we'll both take it off in different directions. So, what is one thing that yes you would say would be a good, let's say even like how would you set up, yeah, a good start? Just go from there.
I think ideally, if we can have a client for an off season going into a prep, or at least a month before or so, if we can try to get calories as high as possible, within reason, obviously, without just getting fat, but so that we're not, pulling or to nothing. I think a lot of people sometimes hit up a prep coach and they haven't been eating on a diet or consistently or whatever it is, and then say, "Yeah, coach, I want to compete in 16 weeks." It's like, well, we need to take at least a month to try and build your metabolism up a little bit or get you eating a couple meals, or we can't go from eating 2,300 calories, and try to cut you down 30 pounds in
Where
16
where you gonna
weeks.
go from, where you gonna go from there? That's a perfect example. Like the
Yeah,
starting point of you know what? Even if someone's overeating to begin with, I'm like, I don't want to say like overeating and like completely fat, but they're ideally at least eating somewhere around maintenance, if not a surplus, where they're not at that big hole to begin with. That's a huge mistake. Because I just want to start a prep and they're already, let's say, no, not even excessive cardio. Let's say doing 5 sessions a week of 30 minutes. Again, this is more so like you don't want to be your starting point. That's
right.
completely feasible. That could be as soon as 12 weeks out. I have no issue with that. But it's like if you're already starting with that, where do you go from there? If you're a 200-pound male eating 2,400 calories, bro, that's not good. To start with, that is, like you said. Where the hell are you going to go from there?
It's
And
gonna
it's
be
funny.
rough. It's gonna be rough.
But exactly what I just said, leading into it, like how it's not just I'm ready to prep. Here we go. Okay, how have you been eating? Have you been eating consistently? Protein feedings. How familiar are you with weighing out foods? Like you want to already have like a routine going. Like you said, ideally starting with them. Like, hey, okay, let's you know what? Before we start cutting down, let's reset. Like, not reset your metabolism, but get you consistently eating this amount. And if we can increase from there, awesome. And sometimes I say like the people that aren't accurately tracking, sometimes it's actually helpful in the sense that they're kind of like a blank slate in the
Right.
sense of you get them eating more consistently, eating higher protein, and they're like body composition's changing. They're not seeing the scale go up. They're eating more, right? It's all those are
Yeah.
all green.
Yeah, I mean that's all, if we can eat the same and the scale doesn't change, but we're looking leaner, I mean, nothing to complain about that. I mean, eventually we do need to get the scale down, right? But if we can be there, that's a good spot to be. I mean, I think, in that scenario, like where you don't have a lot of time, like the easiest place to like sneak in food, like Phil Viz says, sneak in food is like pre, intra, post. If you throw in a intra-workout carbs or whatever it is, Rice Krispie treat pre-workout, or make a post-workout meal a little bit bigger. Where the calories are going to be burned a little bit easier or absorbed more as glycogen. Like we're getting the calorie count higher, but we're not putting on fat at that point.
And that, like you said, leaves you more leeway, more wiggle room for tools to then remove later. Like in the beginning, that's just jump starting everything, and then you
Yeah.
have that lever to pull of okay, we cut the Rice Krispie. That's 20 grams of carbs we're cutting there. It leaves
Yeah.
you only room to work with.
Yeah. I think that's the key is having multiple levers to pull and not just we're okay, we're adding 10 more minutes on the stairs this week.
Which it eventually will get there, but it shouldn't be from the start. On
Right.
that as well, I know what people like when we go over this, but the drug aspect of it too. Having a clean, I mean, not even, you want a clean slate of health going into it. If you've
Right.
been blasting already for 12 weeks leading up to this prep, we need to get it clean at some point. You, you're not, I'm not pushing that 28-week cycle. I mean, do people do it? We're not even get into that potentially, but if you're blasting all this and then you jumpstart a prep, like, hey, things only get harsher from here. Like, we're only going to add in the orals. They're only going to be the more toxic compounds, the load, everything in general. So you want to the pre-prep blood work coming clean, not have tons of fluid retention. Like this is true muscle. This is your true starting point for where we're going at. This isn't the inflated you.
I think that pre-prep phase is like you could say that sets up the whole prep, whether that's we're in a cruise, we're cleaning up, maybe you're taking out the little extra snacks, taking out the extra cheat meal, or just cleaning up the diet a little bit, getting in a routine of like doing cardio, whether that's like doing cardio or just steps or whatever. Like I feel like setting up all those things gets you in a better spot that when you're 8 weeks out, we're not trying to scramble and figure out a routine because now you have to do 2 hours of cardio.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I put it like an example for myself. When it comes to like entering a contest prep, my last meal for the past, I want to say year and a half has probably been some variation of some form of a creamy. I have Oreo thins. I crack three of them. I put them in there. You know what? One of the first things to go if I'm cutting down, if I'm prepping, those right there. Boom.
Right.
I don't want to see them not noticeable. If it tastes good, yeah, they taste great. But if I'm cutting down, that's the first thing that's kind of just going to go. So simple things like that. That's already a 130 calorie cut off the bat. And little things like that removing that's why also strategically building up your calories. This comes into the self coaching part too, right? Like you
Right.
want to also give yourself those levers to pull and add in things here, add in things there, knowing that, hey, boom, clean things up. We can remove that from there. You know what? I was adding a serving of peanut butter here, take that out. All the extra rice portions, when your rice
Right.
portions go up to 400 grams, like guess what? You cut that to 300, you're not gonna notice a thing. And you just cut what 20 grams of carbs there, boom.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, that's what I like to do with my meals, like rice portion, fruit portion, and then if it's rice cake or sourdough or whatever. So it's like you have three levers to pull from. And then it's
Like
like,
your breakfast, would you cut down the cream of rice first before you'd remove the English muffin, or would you remove the
yeah,
English?
I would cut down the rice first. Yeah. You won't
So
notice it.
that's a hearty bowl, bro. That's a hearty bowl.
That's why I started doing the pancakes. They're easier. But yeah.
Yeah.
What else are you what are your go-tos for prep that people miss?
See, also, I mean, like, I mean, again, let's without getting too deep in the weeds here. To set yourself up for a successful prep, make sure you're in a good spot mentally and financially. Let's talk about financials first
Mm,
going into a prep. That is one thing that I don't want to say you should have money tucked away. You should not. These are all luxury items. Everything that goes into a contest prep, because I'm going to say for males and for females, they're pretty similar in the sense that our bill of the extra supplementation adds up. There, as far as like bikini, hair, all that stuff adds up real quick too. Have the extra income, and you should not put yourself in a hole for a contest prep because
Right.
this stuff starts adding up. You want your protein, you want your, I mean, your quality foods. You want to the convenience of a lot of things starts adding up. Whether I mean, a lot goes into it, like all the little intangible kind of things. In a sense, you may start saving money, given you'll have the same kind of menu and you'll get in the routine of doing that as well. But you
Right.
also have to have the expendable income because things get tough like towards the end. If you can take off that last week before of work before your competition, little things like that, start taking a few less hours because shit's gonna hit. You're gonna be brain
Yeah.
dumb. Start feeling stupid. If you can leave yourself some wiggle room, to a buffer zone of if I in a financial situation. Not saying you have to be rich, but be in a good financial situation where you have the excess to allocate here and allocate there versus putting yourself in a hole.
The energy drinks be adding up. You go from one to three a day.
Things like that. It's funny the little things.
The
I
the
am.
extra case of diet soda,
Uh huh. Uh huh.
the Mios,
Oh,
you
bro,
know.
I'm all. I have the Snapple little calorie things.
Mm.
Right now, I try to find the perfect balance of water and then my flavored stuff because dude, when you're drinking so much water a day, I do got to put some flavorings in there.
Got to. But
100%.
but those add up. They're like this big and they're like $6 or something.
Mm-hmm.
But
All of those.
but the thing is, if you're a full 24/7 bodybuilder, this isn't really there's not that much to add, you
Yeah,
know?
you got a point. Yeah, it's not extra already. You've been doing this. You've
Right.
been doing.
Yeah. I mean, if you prep once a year and that's your cycle for the year, that's gonna be a lot of extra cost, for just getting back to our health supplements and just getting back to eating 5 or 6 meals. And it's like all of this at once versus if you made it a thing and you're shopping at Costco and you get your health supplements all in bulk and you know you buy your gear in bulk like like it's like, all right, it's just another day.
That last prep for the mask, he gave me a special for 10 of them. I was like, I'm getting 10 because this shit's adding up.
Yeah, always buy 10 if you can buy 10, buy 10.
By the 10.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine like, yeah, that's another funny way to put it is if you're literally hitting up your guy for like, hey, can I get one bottle of test, one bottle of mask each month? You don't have you're not in the spot for this.
No.
You you're not in the spot for this.
Well, not only that, but I mean, there's going to be a week where they run out and then
Hey,
you're going to be
what do you want?
stressing.
I'm out of this. I'll just throw in some MVP instead. And guess what? Your weight shoots up a little bit, little things like that. I ain't risking that.
But not even that, like the stress of being a competitor, and then you got to tell your coach that you're out,
Yeah,
and
not a cleanse. I'm like, fuck. I would be like, yeah, what the fuck do I do? The little things because you get so routine about these things. It's not even just the fact that it's a PED, but more in the sense of like I need this is part of everything. I don't have it. Fuck.
yeah, it's like if you ran out of creatine, like
Same
like
idea.
what are we doing? Go to the store,
And also that's so on the financial end too, but on the like when I say the mental end, is your home life in a good spot, your relationship in a good spot, your job steady and everything, like being in between jobs. Prep should never be one of those. It shouldn't be life's going shitty right now. You know what? I'm going to start a bodybuilding prep. This will take my mind off of it. No, that's not good. I think that's the recipe. I mean, potentially you can lock in and that could be a goal, but like,
it could
should never
be.
be things could that could help in some situations. But for the most part, I want to say you should be in a good spot with everything else before that starts.
Yeah, I think I mean, you know how it is when you get in the flow of prep, you start getting to where you're getting real productive, in the morning. You got cardio, posing, and then it's like I'm getting right to work. I'm doing this. I'm doing like while the while the
Wow.
cleanse still in your system before you crash. But
25 years for the mid morning crash.
I mean, but for a while there, you could take whatever, you're running a business, you're working, there could be a time where you take that to the next level there for a second.
You know what? This is a side note that does have to do with this. It was on Fua's podcast. I want to say it was Branch Warren because he was talking about what life post bodybuilding. And when you think about it, I was a wrestler in high school, so this goes back to like the saying was, Once you've wrestled, everything else in life is easy. Once you've done
Yeah.
a bodybuilding prep, you truly realize how much time you have in the day to allocate towards any goal you have. You
Yep.
realize you make the time for your cardio, for this, your posing, your that, your post workout abs. Like your gym sessions, you start adding on that 15 minutes for abs or the calves that you do. Like you have that extra time in the day where you squeeze in all these other things. Apply that to like keep that going. Keep, like you said, the structure of your morning routine. If you're off prep, guess what? You get yourself an hour to grow your business or whatever it is you're trying to apply yourself to. You have that extra hour now.
Yeah.
Like I think the discipline that a bodybuilding prep can teach you, if you apply that to other places in life, that shit can take you far. Like non-negotiables, right? That we talk about those all the time, non-negotiables. When you start, that time can be applied towards something else. Sky's the freaking limit. It absolutely
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. I think you hit it right on the head, but if you start to automate the small things in life, like, once you do prep, you kind of realize that like, okay, there was enough time. Like when I was saying like I don't have enough time for this, like it teaches you like, okay, there was enough time. You can
Uh-huh.
figure it out. And then once you start to kind of, automate those things in your own head in your own life, like, you get up, you put your electrolytes in, you go outside, you walk your dog like that. It happens without you even thinking about it. Then it leaves you more room to do things that you have to think about, right? Because at one point you did have to like consciously like, okay, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do that.
Next, this is next, and now it's just autopilot. Like you said, it's on
Right.
you're on. That's the perfect
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. It's like 3 o'clock comes around, all right, it's meal four time, it just happens.
Mhm.
But I think that's, you don't understand that until you do it, right? Is that you did have time, I think like my first prep I did like while working two jobs and going to school. So it was like, okay, that's just pretty
Every,
difficult, but
every hour was accounted for, wasn't it? Every hour was accounted for.
every hour was accounted for. That's a good way of putting it. But I mean, that's why I like bodybuilding prep so much, is because like even if you're not going to be Mr. Olympia, there's so much that you can learn from it just as a person. And like, yeah, but
The growth you get from it physically as well, mentally, all that. Absolutely.
I think, going with that, one of my non-negotiables looking back is steps. I think I like the way that a lot of coaches are talking about having steps separate from your cardio count. So like different coaches talk about taking your watch off during cardio, or writing down however many steps it was and then
You see what
subtracting
I
it.
want to know how you do it because I'll tell you how I do it.
I still do like a total count. So I just do like, if it's, we're doing an incline walk, like I'm gonna just add 3,000 steps. That's how I
Well,
like it.
at the end of the nitty gritty, I have a note in my phone that tracks my what time I wake up, my weight, all that kind of data for myself, and I would put my my steps before, turn it off, stand, steps after, and subtract that exact. I needed to know that exact number. That's the acoustic in
Mhm.
me, but I had to
Yeah.
know. But that's a great thing to bring up because, dude, like the idea is as you get more fatigued, until someone's prepped, it's hard to explain. But like once you get deep and fatigued into that prep, like you have to that movement is has to still be accounted for. If you were even at let's say 8,000 steps and your cardio is now an hour, if you that it doesn't matter. Like if you're doing the incline treadmill, and you're getting let's say 1,000 steps every 10 minutes. Like
Yeah.
you only need to move 2,000 steps outside of that. You need to keep track of those things. So those little things do add up and become that much of bigger things. I think it's funny when you hear podcasts of dudes like in the early, even the earlier 2000s, were like, we can track steps. So like our cardio got up to 2 hours a day because they were just like in between. You'd hear they would just talk about how they just sit and they
Yeah.
would just walk around in their house. But that's why they had to get up to that much. Because if
Yeah.
you just keep moving outside of it, like me walking my boy, I get 4,500 steps right off the bat. Boom. And that happens every morning.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the extremes of like, even just like 10, 15 years ago bodybuilding, right? Like, you know, the not only the cardio versus the off season no cardio, but the off season we're having a burger every day. The very watery compounds, and it's
No,
like
but
one.
that's hilarious because, dude, if someone said every night ended with a cheat meal, I would have the shits every day. I would wake up the next morning with shits the next morning. Like I couldn't do it, and that's
Right.
what they would do, right? Little
That's what
things
they
like
would do.
ended with McDonald's each night. I'm like, I couldn't do it. No way. Our flavored cream of rice, like little examples like that, they didn't have that 10 years ago.
No.
We have flavored cream of rice, and that makes everything that much more enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah. And then once prep comes, it's just fish and asparagus, 2 hours of stairs.
You got to do
Right
that.
away. Yeah.
Did you ever have a fish and asparagus like piece of time in any prep?
The last 6 weeks of the last prep,
Yeah, yeah.
fish and yeah, 2 hours of stairs. But that's why I think the steps was huge for me, like in growing my coaching and like understanding more because I was like, I was doing 2 hours of stairs and getting 8,000 steps. So it's like, well, 8,000 steps and then go to the gym, like that was my 10,000 steps. So it was like I really could have moved a lot more and been probably not had to do 1,200 calories for 6 weeks. So that was something that I like made a mental note of like, okay, steps are separate from cardio.
Yeah, yeah.
But do you think everybody needs to have a fish asparagus time and prep?
You know what? With all everyone, and we'll not even make this a GLP-1 conversation, but everyone talks about how is Aurelia is making bodybuilding easier. You know what? I am damn glad though that I went through a tilapia asparagus. I had coconut oil in some meals phase because it taught me to fucking sit there and be like, "Fuck, I'm hungry, but I'm not messing this up. This is what has
Yeah,
to be done." And not just, I mean, the deeper you also get, it's not even about the GLPs necessarily. You seriously build up your metabolism. It's simple as
right.
that. You absolutely do. And I mean, I know some people don't have it, I want to say as easy as others, but you get so deep into it where you've built your baseline to where now a zero carb day will be 150 and you'll feel just as depleted, but you're eating 150 grams of carbs. That's your body's new zero in a sense. But like you can build your metabolism up to, you know, um, not have to do that. But
Right.
that it does show you some grit. It does make you have to push through things, or
Yeah,
when the hypo doing cardio, all those kind of little things. Having to go through those phases, it does teach you something.
it definitely does. So
Hmm.
where's the balance of somebody's, they're hearing us talk, right? So we've said, if you can be leaner going into a prep, that'll be better, right? Or, but also we need to get the calories as high as possible. If somebody's listening to us, right, coach themselves, where's the balance of, trying to stay lean and not get too fat, to have to lose 50 pounds in prep, but also get our calories as high as possible.
All right, all situational. We'll put that aside for a second. All situational, but it's genuinely like I, I mean, I don't want to say like there's a difference between a food belly and a belly belly. Okay, there is. We have when you're eating that much food, you're gonna have a food baby, your a
Yeah,
food belly. But you should have shape to everything. I think is the kind of body fat
hmm
level. We'll kind of go off of that. It's hard to say percentages because everyone retains in different ways and everyone cares in a different. But you should like that. I want to say the average person should still think you're in shape. I think that's a
hmm
good way to put it because people think you're super lean right now, right?
right.
People think I'm like, we're not, and but
No.
thank you.
Yeah,
You still look like a bodybuilder or look like you're in shape. You should still
yeah,
be like relatively in shape. Is your face going to be a little bit thicker? Absolutely, it should. If you need to be eating a surplus, one of the first places is to go to your face. But you should don't like another thing. Being too lean can hold you back. We're not if you're really trying to progress as a bodybuilder, you're not going to stay shredded year round. I don't give a
right,
fuck about your shredded reels that you get your content during prep. After
right.
that, you need to commit to gaining some muscle.
Yeah. I think, yeah, alongside all that, like for me, a big thing that helps you stay in that range is like the pushes and pulls, right? Obviously, we can look at that as like our cycles on and off, but even for natty guys, we don't need to continuously push a surplus for 18 months straight, right? Even on a smaller thing, right? Having zero carb off days or maybe you take 3 days and you pull back a little bit, right? And then you push for 7 days, right? Or a couple weeks at a time and pull back, or a couple weeks and pull back, right? So that we're not just like at a certain point, like you can't just like be in a huge surplus forever, right? So
Periodizing your diet as well. Like
yeah,
more than just training days and rest days, periodizing, okay, these 3 weeks, these 3 or 4 weeks, or whatever it can be, anywhere from let's say 3 to 6 weeks,
right.
2 to 6 weeks, to pull back a little bit and reel things in. I
Yeah.
think in other places. And I guess this is more getting into the more experienced person as well too. Like it'd be hard to, your first person that's just entering a prep, you'd be like, well, after this, we have to do this and do that.
Right.
Level to it, right? Like
Yeah.
getting those
Yeah.
courses.
Well, I think it helps as well. Like if you were doing the old school sitting around all day and then you go into prep and you switch it on, you're going on the Stairmaster. You might be 175, 185 beats per minute on the stairs the first day or for
Uh-huh.
for a couple of days. Versus if we're doing, every couple of weeks, you throw in a little Stairmaster, through your off season, maybe every once in a while, it's like, all right, you kind of used to it, which,
Oh
it's
yeah,
it's not like the up and the down. It's just kind of, we're just
I'm sure you agree too. Like I've been getting like on my training days, I don't do any direct cardio, just steps. But on my rest days, I majority of the time get the stairs in. And
mm.
yeah, that's harder. It is harder, but it's my kind of way of periodizing cycling, you know, the staying in shape.
Do you do any of that during prep?
I
Change
keep it uniform.
cardio?
I keep it uniform. As I mean, the thing is too is that's one thing I'm going to try to change up for my next one
Mm.
would be the ah, to keep more like there's it gets more advanced. Like I'm trying to keep fatigue off legs or shrinking, keeping it to even the elliptical, the elliptical or the bike or something. I've never been able to get myself to do the bike though. I can't. Something about it, I can't break past that barrier of this is doing enough. How about you? Do you feel that?
I don't like the bike because you're in control of how fast it goes. If you're on the
Mm.
stairs, you set the level and it goes. You're on the treadmill, you set the level. You got to keep up with it, right? So if you're dragging, you're like, oh, I'm gonna pedal a little slower today.
Automates you to you have to go. Yeah, I've
You have to
never been
go.
able to do the bike, so I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna be. I want to be more conscious. See, I'm always trying to improve my own self coaching, like through things like that. Noticing, okay, you know what? I feel like this is wasting away, or this or that, or what cardio modality I'm doing. Because no, yeah, the bike. I've never been able to pass that barrier. Because like you said, dude, when I think about it, I was going hypo going like on the treadmill, probably like a 2.5 speed for incline for a bit there. There's no way on the bike I'd be able to push myself to have that sort of
Right.
resistance, even though it wasn't that much.
Right.
That was it right there.
That was it. Yeah. I think it's just a consistency thing. I mean, one day you're feeling good, you push it a little harder. The next day you don't feel good, you're pedaling slower versus just we're on 2.5 speed. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Just from an objective level, I think, especially coaching yourself, you're looking at the pictures, there has to be a lot of things that are objective to not mess with your head.
Yes, exactly
Yeah.
that. Like I would try to not go too much off my Apple Watch versus like the input settings and this is another good like just I guess a little tidbit. Like when you put your info onto the treadmill and it says like you burned this much because you're a 6 foot, 220 pound guy, whatever. I would do that just so each time at least I would know that I'm matching the intensity that I had prior.
Yeah.
Because the watch you read that day, you took up another 20 mcgs. Your heart rate maybe 5 beats per minute higher. Thus, your watch telling you you're burning X amount more. So I would
Yeah.
try to keep it uniform in some way. However you're going to do it, whatever data you're going to collect, try to keep it uniform for progression.
Yeah. My first coach had me do that. He said he didn't put a time on cardio. He just said whatever the calories are on the machine.
Go
So
boom,
if
and
300 calories, the next week it's 350 or whatever. So it's like that might take you 2 minutes longer, or you might go a little harder.
no, that's perfect. That's good. Exactly, you can do it like that. I know, like Cameron Cheek would program cardio like that.
Yeah.
probably a lot more people, but I've seen his content that he puts out and with things like that, and that
I
everything works for different people.
I've seen even the amount of calories in the amount of time or less. So like say you have 25 minutes to do 300 calories. So you're not sitting on there for an hour, you know,
Yeah,
going slow.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could. I mean, that would take a chunk of your day, and you can make the argument that I wouldn't. For at that point, you're
Right.
just prolonging what you get done. Yeah.
Yeah. There's some things like that though that as a coach you have to be pretty clear with clients about, you know.
Oh, dude, funny enough. So, like, I be not like, the other like we can talk about ways we program cardio with our clients. Now, I guess we're going off topic here, but staying on topic. I get like giving stair climber floors climbing goals. Like, hey,
Mm.
in this amount of 30 minutes, like I know for myself, not if I climb 90 floors in 30 minutes, I was chilling.
Oh,
110, I was working. 125 and up, you're hauling ass on there. So the thing is too is I like working off a heart rates, yes, for one, but also like it's an objective amount that each I want you to hit this amount in this time, and it's ensuring that you're working. Like
huh.
it's, there's only so many ways you can be over their shoulder to kind of like these things. Were you was your heart rate up but you were completely leaning over? Where did you do all those floors but you're completely hunched over? Like there's so many things. So it's like I know that the stair. What I found across stairmasters is their levels vary from it was like EOSs to all ones to the ones at Madhouse. They all vary, but I found the floors to be pretty uniform across. In 30 minutes at level 5 or level somewhere between 4 and 6, you'll climb 90 floors. And you
Huh.
mess with it this time, and you'll kind of note that. And it's kind of another. It's a way like you can make sure like, hey, you're smaller than me. Like this is relatively easy for me. I know you're not freaking trying. Or
Huh.
I know like the 130-pound bikini girl, the 110-pound bikini girl, you're going to need to be doing more because you're not going to be burning the same amount. So there's other little ways I try to program cardio in that way to make sure you're holding them accountable without being over their shoulder. Hey, slap their hand away from holding it.
That's pretty cool. I like that. I think I just feel like as a athlete, like I think when you get in the weeds of prep, you kind of get in that mindset of trying to make things easier. And so that's kind of something that you need to set up before prep is like that you're choosing to do this. So it's like, why don't we try and like win every aspect? Like that's a big thing that I'm on is like just try and win, have as many small wins as you can, right? And then at the end of the week, try and beat your check-in. The end goal is to beat your check-in right now, right? You don't know who's going to step on stage. Like the new Mr. Olympia might come to your show. You don't know, but you can beat your check-in, right, from
Yeah.
last week. And so it's like that's something that we need to get in our head ahead of time and not that like I'm going to try to make things easier. Sometimes you got to lean in. If you lean in and you actually do the work, you might get a refeed.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Mm. Are you just because I said refeed and it made me go down a tangent. Are you one to add food first or pull cardio?
Oh, dude, I will pull. I guess if I had to give it like a percentage of a pie, I would. I would rather feed up more and pull like dude, it would stress me the fuck out if a coach gave me, hey, no cardio the next day. I mean, something about that. I mean, I would listen. It would, but I would be like, fuck, like, and then
What do I do?
yeah, I would rather be pulled back or like, hey, take it fucking easy, cut it in half, take it easy, and then feed up a little bit more, just because that's such a routine part of my day. What if I
Mm,
don't? And funny enough, you'll get me on this. What if I don't take my post workout, my post cardio shit? Like it's gonna be
yeah,
different. Like, it usually happens. Like little examples like that, right? So it's
yeah.
like I would rather a larger percentage going to feeding up because that person
Mm,
will be day more energy through that, and then pull back on the expenditure, yes, but to zero it out, I mean, it would stress me out. I'm sure it's stressful. I mean, actually, some people would be like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna sit on my ass." So some people I think would definitely like it.
yeah.
Where are you on that? Would you be cool with getting your cardio cut for the day?
Oh, I'd be so happy.
Oh, would you?
I'd
Okay,
be
see,
I'd be so happy.
it stressed me out, but you're a good example of you love it.
Yeah. I mean, you could still like. you could still like do the same process, like drive to the gym and just walk or whatever, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking of being in the weeds and prepping, sitting in the car, and not wanting to go out and do the stairs. So, but
Say about
would you?
a little bit more before getting out. You know what? Regardless, as much as I say I do enjoy it, I don't mind it too much. There's a times to be like, fuck, it's down. One foot out the door, the other foot out the door, and they feel heavier than usual. There's weights on your shoes. I'm like,
Yeah,
fuck, yeah,
yeah,
let's go. And to walk back to the car, you're a little lightheaded, but you're feeling the wind. You're a little,
yeah,
oh,
yeah. But in the same vein, opposite, are you one to pull food or add more cardio first?
I hate seeing both. It's just so like, I, I guess I do have caps that I like leaving cardio at, so I would say food
Mm,
more. Just because I mean I'm talking like there's only so much you can keep up for so long doing extended amounts of cardio. So I would say food first. I would say food
mm,
first. And then because the thing is with that, you can add a refeed in sooner
right.
than you could, versus like having the set cardio amount go higher so much further out, it would only have to go higher from there. Whereas you may have dug a little bit much, to pull back cardio, I mean, or food that much where you can feed that back in versus like unless you're reversing into the show and you're that on track the whole time, like you shouldn't go backwards on cardio till you're ready, right? You're not reversing into the show unless you're ready. Whereas like that's the lever you'd only have to increase versus food. If you pull back a little bit more, you can add some in to help minimize fatigue and have them feeling good, productive, all that stuff.
Yeah. I think that's one thing that, and like you mentioned, like you're just doing stairs on your on your rest days, right? If you were to go into a prep, you're only doing 2 days of cardio. You don't even have to up the cardio amount. You could just add another day.
So,
You know, so
mm,
if, it's the same thing. If we're starting out prep doing 5 days of 45 minutes, like, where do we go from here?
bro, you're in the weeds. You're already there.
So yeah, I like that. If we can go from 2 days and 3 days and we go from 3 days to 4 days, I think that's
Until you get to daily, and you know what? It's going to be the days where like you're pulling back or you have none. Yeah, right. Because you're on point. You're on track. You set yourself up for a successful contest prep.
yeah. Should we get into the sauces, the drinks a little bit? I think do you have a energy drink limit, a diet soda limit?
Oh, bro. See, when it comes to that, I say two. I try to give two, and it's just like in the end, it's just because they become a problem. I do not think it's holding that many people back. Some people, it is going to mess up their stomach. Some people will having that many. But I'm honestly more in the camp of I don't see four diet sodas a day hurting your progress. I don't. But it's just one
Right.
of those things where like should this person be consuming 4 cans of Diet Coke a day? You know what? If you're 2.5 weeks out and you had two Coke Zeros, a Monster, and another energy drink, it's not gonna be the end of the world. You're not holding back your progress. But we shouldn't keep it up for the long term. You shouldn't be doing that forever. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the overall caffeine limit is more important than the aspartame or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think if you're having like they make zero caffeine Diet Cokes,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
whatever. Have those if that's what you need to stay on your diet, rip them. But I think if we're doing 3 or 4 energy drinks, like all right, that's enough. We're not
What's
even
the
getting any benefit from that.
I know okay, what's your at your highest point, what was your schedule for caffeine? Do you have one? Because I could already think about my schedule for caffeine when I needed it.
Well, I like the caffeine pills. So
Okay.
I would do the caffeine pills before cardio and then pre-workout. And then I was usually training people in the evening and I would usually have an energy drink like 3 or 4 o'clock.
So would you say 3 servings of caffeine separately throughout the day?
Yeah. Yeah. So like first thing in the morning, pre-workout, I was working out at like 11 and then at like 3.
Okay.
So,
I was exactly the same. Fasted cardio, I used the raw central burner because it only had 150
mm,
milligrams of caffeine. So I knew I was only 150 there. My pre-workout around 10:30, 10:45. I would always get a 200 milligram one. And then before Bree and I would walk our boy midday, I would have another caffeine pill at this time, which would be 200 milligrams. So ultimately, it was only 550 total. So some people
Right.
may sound like a lot, but I don't think it was a lot. But I was very accurate. Like that was my scheduling for the day: caffeine here, caffeine here, so I could perform when I needed to, and then I just had to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you have to be able to don't start prep having three energy drinks a day, because
Oh,
at a certain point, it's not
that's a
doing
good
anything.
point. That's a good point. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, I think, even if you really want to get into it, if we're in that cruise before prep, we're cleaning up the diet, we're measuring our food again, we're going,
Are you
on
about
a
to say?
morning walk.
Are you about to say cut out caffeine?
I was gonna say, like, maybe, maybe we do like a little 4 week detox, Then
Ooh, dude,
you go into prep and you got every single lever to pull.
you do, you do. I can't say I've ever. I remember one day I forgot my morning caffeine, and it's just like I genuinely had a headache, a caffeine headache, and it's like you do have to suck it up and push past that. It might only
Yeah,
be a few days, but you
yeah.
absolutely do. That is something that's a good point that I personally haven't done though, so I can't speak to it quite yet.
I mean, I just think, when you get into it, if we're talking before fasted cardio, you might have, caffeine, ephedrine, clen, you know, then right after you're getting a coffee and it's like, all right, that's probably we're losing benefit and we're not getting the benefit, so it's like
Getting there stimulated but not stimulated at the same time. Your heart rate's up, but you're feeling like this.
yeah.
So bad.
So that I threw a good one in there. I love ephedrine. I don't know if
Oh,
I'm allowed to say that I love ephedrine, but
it's
I
super,
love
dude. It's funny because when I talk about these options, right? You talk to people about these options. Hey, we have tons of different tools from Clem to Slew to Ephedrine. Even can you use a combination of the three? We're not saying to do it or not to do it, but potentially. But dude, it is you get caffeine pills. You get your Bronchate from CVS. This shit, that's like 15 bucks. Depending on the size, I think they come in like 30 to 60 to 90s.
yeah,
Dude, it's cheap as hell. And you know how effective that is throwing you so Yohimbi with there? Boom, dude. And the thing is, it's way easier accessible than your guy or wherever you go for Clem. It's
way
extremely,
easier.
and people do not. I think it's just because there's so many new shiny things that they forget how effective that one is. Would you agree?
Agree, agree. That being
Huh?
said, the high dose of Slew is very effective. I think for this prep, I'm gonna do like 500 milligrams of Slew.
Yeah. Oh, you know what would be good data is when you're deep in it and like to see how like because I've just heard that people are like I go hypo even after I ate 100 grams of carbs. So tracking those kind of things, and you're very in tune with yourself. So that'd be a good example. So anyone that's watching, listen, Ty knows what he's doing. Like he knows what these things feel like. So if he's gonna experiment with that kind of stuff, it's because
Yeah,
you don't just go into it from nothing.
yeah. I have a guy at the shop that I work at. He gave me a CGM, so
Yeah,
I
nice.
have a CGM. So I'm gonna save it for prep and see what happens. But I mean, I got a whole peptide stack laid out of what I want to try.
Oh, we talk about how there's when you're in the off season, you're like, dude, this will be a sick combo for prep. And when you're in prep, you're like, "Do not wait to do this in the off season. You start thinking of all these combinations, right? It's
Yeah,
like you start dreaming. And it's not even it's maybe it's the druggy side of us, but it's also just so interesting how all these things can work.
yeah.
Like I think I told you I didn't start injectable L-carnitine until post show this year. It's because I got some 4 weeks out, but I was like, you know what? It's another IM shot. Like I'm not going to mess with that right now because I need to keep that in rotation.
Yeah,
But dude, oh my goodness, can we? Okay, I guess we're going into this isn't the Q and A
we're
part, but
we're
let's
going
talk.
into it.
Dude, the sauce. Okay, tell me if this is. I've told talked to a few. I have one guy taking this right now. But I guess there's let me first preface this with there's different variations of this exact stack. There's interchangeable things. We have L-carnitine, which is releasing fatty acids to the bloodstream. Boom, L-carnitine. Some source of caffeine. It can be a fat burner, or a caffeine pill with either your choice of ephedrine or clen. and then it's like, and then plus your two IUs of growth. Those that little BAM four thing. I mean, like I said, the possibilities are endless. You can always, add in your five amino, and then you can add in a plenty of other different things. But the way those four different have mechanisms of action, it's like, dude, it's a cheat code. Like you can eat. I'm convinced, and there's no literature behind this, and there's no just anecdotal. You can probably eat at maintenance, do fasted cardio with those that right before it, and you will burn fat. You will get leaner. I'm so pumped to try that, bro.
Well, I think if you're gonna do those four, you might as well do yohimbine as well.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly. Okay.
it's like the of cleanse. So
Then you can add that much more. See, it's like you can expand on it, but it's like you're hitting it from all those pathways, and it makes it so interesting, right? There's just like, I mean, and then you can take lower doses of each one. The same idea. So you can stay at 40 mcgs of cleanse. You can stay at 10 milligrams even in Yohimbe, which is a lot, I think. I'm sensitive to it. But like they all work so synergistically, and you're hitting bam, bam, bam from every different angle. Pumped. Want to try it.
I mean,
I just I don't use it right
you still have like three more levers. You got Mod C, you got NAD, you got five amino. You
now.
know,
Right?
so
Exactly. It's like that's why you say like you can just keep on, stacking other things onto it. It becomes the possibilities become endless.
I mean, you
Instead
get
of growth,
to
instead of growth, do tether, right? Something like that. Fasted instead. But there's all these possibilities, but it
yeah,
makes it you start thinking.
you get to like 6 weeks out, you could be like 10, 12 compounds before 7 a.m.
Not to mention then like you're like you still have your fish oil, so you have your astragalus, you still have this other
Yeah.
stuff.
But I mean, you still got T3, cartering.
Oh,
Yeah.
love Carter. Are
Yeah.
you bro?
I'm doing
Carter,
a
talk about it. It is incredible.
I've been doing 2 weeks on, 1 week off, all off season.
Have you tried on the 2 weeks off trying data?
No, I've looked into it, but it's the same. Like, you know how it is in the off season. I don't want to do another shot.
No, well, I guess the oral form is with cartering, the oral form incredibly available. With data,
Right.
you can make the argument that
Yeah.
it's not. But like dude, you get a lot of stuff for free too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I like. I have data, and it's like it's
Yeah.
something I wouldn't have spent my I don't know 60, $80, whatever it costs. I wouldn't have bought it myself,
Right.
but I have some. So I'm like, I'm gonna try it, and it feels very similar to cartering. That's why.
Hmm. Hmm. That's interesting.
This fun stuff.
Well,
But this
people make the blends that have like yohimbine, dada, five amino. Like they make the whole blend in carnitine. So it's like I might just pick up one of those. I have one that's like yohimbine, ATP, AMP, carnitine.
did we already talk about how I tried the fat black or what? I don't know what.
Yeah, it had
Yeah,
albuterol. Yeah.
do that again. I just think that was I didn't like that. I didn't like. So there is shit I don't like either, or stuff I
Yeah.
didn't.
The
I
albuterol is a little iffy.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I did not like how I felt. I
Yeah.
was not
I think
good.
that might not be the best idea to take something that's supposed to be inhaled and make it injectable.
But and thing is, I literally started at 20.25.
Yeah.
There's
Uh,
dudes out there getting a whole ML. What the fuck? Like, what are you made of? What are you? How are you? But then again, it's like funny working at the supplement store, right? You would hear people come in and be like, "I take two of these with an energy drink and all this other stuff," and you're like, "Bro, what the fuck? Like, how?" Like, I'm not a stimulant guy. I'm really not.
I'm
So it's like
not.
I a 200 hits me plenty good. I don't even like 300 milligram caffeine energy drinks. So it's like with that kind of stuff, I'm like, bro, like I don't like that. I don't like how it makes me feel.
Yeah. No, prep will be fun. I mean I got a lot of ideas too. So now that I'm
it's
in control.
it's 30 and a half weeks out right now, I think. Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah,
I looked
30.
at it yesterday. I was like oh, I thought this was a little farther, but yeah, so I'm thinking of pushing for the next five, maybe cruise for six, start prep at 19, 20 weeks out.
What is that, mid-July?
Yeah,
July.
Yeah, mid-July. But yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I've never been lean in the cold months because it gets so cold in California.
Dude,
But
I'd rather, dude, I think it's more ideal like that because I mean, because I always say you can always put on an extra layer versus when it gets hot and you're kind of thick and bulky. Like, dude, you get hot after eating a meal. Tell me you don't, right? When you're sitting there and it's hot inside and you're eating and you start sweating and you're like, no, it's just had the meat sweats.
yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. Yeah, I go through
So
at least four shirts a day.
no, 100% guys hate, dude, laundry, 1000%.
Yeah, that's the rough part of that. Might be no, putting on my socks is worse than that. I was gonna say that could be the worst thing of the off season.
Start sliding on shoes more, only wearing sliding shoes.
Yeah, I only wear Crocs and Birks now. Prep, you start getting the big chunky shoes.
You want the padding on the bottom of your feet. You're like, these actually feel a lot more comfortable right now.
What are the ones you got? The on clouds?
Yeah. And dude, funny
Yeah,
enough, they do not, they fit so comfortably when my feet are skinny. When my wide feet gain some fat on them, no, they're constricted. My feet are constricted. It sucks. I had,
is that a pre-prep thing to get
yeah,
your cardio shoes?
absolutely. I have I'm going to say my Nike Freeze, and I don't have any right now, but Adidas Ultra Boosts, I love those too. And because I do a lot of walking. And you know what? On the stairs, I can if I had to do like stairs in my Vans, I probably would. It's gonna be a lot more comfortable with the padding on your toes, wearing another shoe. But what about you? What's your go-to?
Just Crocs right now. I have a pair of Ultra Boosts and they don't fit anymore because my feet got fat, but hopefully they fit.
Yeah.
But I had a bunch of pairs of those New Balances. What are they, 90-60? The big
Oh, nice.
chunky
Oh, yeah,
ones.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, those
That's
are
really
so
comfortable as
comfy.
hell. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, those are the ones. But right now it's just Crocs and Birks. Just slide in there.
I keep on saying that I need to get a pair of the Birks, even if they're the rip-off ones. I need a
Yeah.
pair.
No,
I want
the rip
when you're big enough, you can get away with wearing what you want, but
wear
still
whatever you
no
want.
defined for men. If you're a man wearing defined, still none of that.
I
So what's the
was
next comment to that? They're like, Alberto's like, I'm getting
I was trying to explain that to Nat because she was like, I don't get it. Like the define. I was like, it was if what's the brand? Honor Active. I was like,
uh,
imagine Honor Active made a men's line.
yeah, you can't like, I don't get it. You don't. I don't know. A man wearing honor, no way. You just
No
can't.
way. No
You,
way.
you guys can stay with
No.
that.
Not if you're trying to be an open bodybuilder.
No.
No.
Gasp.
Gasp.
Gasp. But dude, we didn't even we need to put a question box on this week. So,
I forgot it, so
but actually, what do you think about next episode? Making it mainly a Q&A or all a Q&A?
yeah, we will do that.
Yeah, we did. How about
Guys,
this,
leave the
guys?
questions in the
Yeah,
comments.
we will 100% pinky promise get to your question if you put it in the comments. So comment down below your question.
Is that our, yeah, I guess that's our 5 minute comment.
Yeah, that's our yes. Leave a question in the comment and you will get answered next one, and we'll dive into it. We'll be
We'll
more a
get
little bit.
all
Yeah, we'll get all deep because that it'll be a Q&A episode.
Q&A episode. Should we start doing a physique critiques?
Ooh, someone sent one in. Someone sent
Did
one in. Yeah.
they?
No, I'm saying someone should. Someone
Oh
should.
yeah,
Yes.
send them in. Send them in. Cycle review.
Oh, that's a good one too. Cycle reviews. Yes, do that. Don't put the
Now we're gonna
stupid
get now we're gonna get
one.
no we're gonna get no questions and just all cycles.
We could talk about that for a while though. We could.
We could. All
People
right,
like that.
whatever you guys want. Physique critique, cycle review, questions, put them in the comments. We'll get them.
Sure. All right. And that is it for today.
All right, y'all. Like, subscribe, share with a friend. If you're doing your cardio, keep going. And we'll see you guys next week.